o único arrependimento que eu tenho na minha vida até hoje é não ter conseguido fazer um intercâmbio. E é disso que eu quero falar nesse vídeo. Cara, eu tô muito feliz de gravar, porque nesse canal eu gosto de fazer conteúdos onde eu paro para conversar como se eu fosse seu irmão mais velho, seu primo mais velho, enfim, trocar uma ideia aqui como algo que eu queria ter consumido quando eu era mais novo e estava na jornada para passar para medicina, enfim, nessa vida de vestibulando. E, cara, isso me cegou, porque eu consegui a minha aprovação para medicina, só que eu fui tão absorvido por toda essa energia de conseguir chegar lá, cara, quando eu cheguei parece que eu esqueci todo o resto. Assim, eu entrei numa vibe, numa bolha meio tipo assim, curtir loucamente, afinal eu consegui passar em medicina, dar aula particular, e aí foi tipo, pô, curti muito a aula particular, e cara, festa no final de semana, ficar careca, se der na edição botam aí umas fotos de eu careca nessa fase, aí tem uma foto clássica no meu Instagram, Semana Santa em Pipa, eu vivendo uma vida solteira que não me orgulho e não repetiria, falando sério, não repetiria, mas era o que a minha inteligência tinha aquela fase, e fazendo isso, cara, achava que era isso. E eu esqueci o quanto na minha adolescência, pré-adolescência, cara, o quanto eu sonhei em fazer um intercâmbio, o quanto eu quis fazer um intercâmbio. Deixa isso passar. E na área da medicina, a gente meio que fica muito limitado mesmo, porque minha irmã inclusive foi fazer um intercâmbio no Canadá, por uma bolsa do governo canadense. Eu tenho um colega que virou francês, se formou em engenharia na França, por uma bolsa da UFRN, super famosa, uma parceria UFRN e França, que você tem que ir fazer uma etapa lá, voltar para concluir na UFRN. Cara, ele foi e nem voltou para a UFRN. A empresa que contratou ele pagou a multa dele não voltar para a UFRN, ele ficou lá, não se formou engenheiro pelo Brasil, mas se formou engenheiro pela França e está lá vivendo em Nice, do lado de Mônaco. E cara, assim, isso eu deixei isso passar na minha vida. E esse vídeo é legal de gravar porque a gente é oficialmente agora parceiro de um programa sensacional de intercâmbio da STB, cara, Student Travel Bureau, Maior. Pô, meu inglês deu uma falhada aqui agora, né? Acho que você percebeu, nem adianta eu fingir que não deu, porque deu uma falhadinha grave. Meu inglês não tá tão bom não, mas ele me atende às minhas principais demandas, embora, claro, tenha que melhorar. Mas, cara, você conhece a STB muito provavelmente. Se você mora em alguma capital do país, é impossível que você não conheça a STB. Sei que lá em Natal tem um escritório super bacana, num ponto super central da cidade. E é basicamente a maior agência do Brasil hoje de intercâmbio estudantil, tá? E a gente agora é oficialmente parceiro deles. São vários programas legais. Por exemplo, eles são quem representa aquele programa super maneiro, assim, incrível, tá? Que leva você para trabalhar na Disney, pô, oficialmente. Eu não esqueci agora o nome do programa, mas é o programa que você passa 3 meses trabalhando na Disney, tá? Como intercambista, ganhando em dólar. E, pô, você tendo a experiência de viver naquela magia. Por 3 meses você ainda ganha dinheiro. Você vai e você volta com grana, entendeu? Você nem gasta. E é por isso que eu me arrependo do intercâmbio. Meu pai não poderia pagar um intercâmbio para mim, não pagaria assim. Graças a Deus, uma condição financeira boa, mas aquela vida apertada de 3 filhos e de muitas coisas ali acontecendo, não daria para ele pagar aqui 50 mil para fazer um intercâmbio, que é normalmente o custo fazer um intercâmbio. E vale cada centavo se você pode. Mas meu pai não tinha ali para mim. Só que eu me limitei, porque eu poderia ter ido atrás de achar outras opções, como por exemplo esse programa da Disney. Só dando um exemplo aqui, nem é o foco desse vídeo, mas trazendo aqui a pauta para você. Se você quer que eu fale um pouco mais sobre esse programa da Disney, comenta aqui que eu posso falar. Pego todos os materiais com a turma da STB e comento aqui, explico. Eu tenho inclusive amigos que fizeram esse programa, então dá para trazer aqui para fazer esse conteúdo, que eu acho que seria muito bom. Mas cara, o que eu quero trazer aqui agora é incrível para você que está na área médica. Por quê? A STB lançou um programa em parceria com a Universidade de Utah, lá nos Estados Unidos, onde você que faz medicina, que inclusive acabou de entrar, está no primeiro período, você pode ter a oportunidade de passar 2 semanas num programa dentro da Universidade de Medicina de Utah, com professores que são médicos lá. Inclusive esse programa tem em um dos seus líderes uma brasileira, uma médica brasileira formada na UFRJ, cara, fantástico essa história, que é infectologista, se eu não me engano, já está nos Estados Unidos, foi para lá desde que se formou, assim, fez toda a jornada, tá? Eu vou fazer uma entrevista com ela aqui, para ela compartilhar como foi essa jornada, que, cara, deve ter sido animal. E ela hoje trabalha no hospital de Utah e faz parte do corpo docente desse programa, que é um programa oficial, realmente pensado pedagogicamente para receber estudantes estudantes estrangeiros, perdão, né, porque eles não estão simulando, eles não estão imigrando, são apenas estudantes estrangeiros, mas que querem ter a experiência de passar 2 semanas lá, vivenciando na prática a saúde americana, entendendo tudo sobre o programa universal de saúde nos Estados Unidos, que é um baita programa, por mais que seja saúde paga, é um programa incrível, cara. A gente sabe que nos Estados Unidos é onde se produz ciência, é um dos países que lidera a produção científica na medicina e em várias outras áreas no mundo. Tem um sistema educacional, cara, incrível, super funcional, que cria os maiores pesquisadores, prêmios Nobel, os maiores atletas, inclusive, do mundo. E agora, tá, você que é brasileiro, pode participar desse programa. Como é que ele funciona? Eu vou deixar aqui na sequência desse vídeo uma gravação, vou deixar 12 minutos da chamada de 1 hora que a STB fez com todo o corpo docente desse programa. Obviamente, o vídeo que eu vou deixar vai estar na descrição aqui, e os 12 minutos que a gente vai cortar para deixar aqui no final do meu vídeo, eles obviamente são em inglês, né? É um programa totalmente em inglês. Se você não tem inglês tão bom, quem sabe vai ter uma boa oportunidade de viver esse programa para lapidar ali, brush up your English. Mas enfim, cara, basicamente você vai para lá para ter 2 semanas de conteúdo, de segunda a sexta, conteúdo médico. Dentro do vídeo que eu vou deixar aqui vai passar o schedule, as datas, a sequência. E é muito legal porque o primeiro dia é você fazendo basicamente assim, um aprofundamento sobre como funciona a saúde americana, como funciona os economics da saúde americana, porque para você entender, a Universidade de Utah, dentro do vídeo esse dado vai estar detalhado lá, mas ela tem coisa que, se não me engano, é 480 milhões de dólares por ano de orçamento para pesquisa. É algo em torno disso. É assustador, cara. É assustador. Você, quando entrar na Universidade Federal, você vai entender o quanto isso é assustador. Porque você não consegue sequer uma bolsa hoje numa federal no Brasil. De R$400 por mês você não consegue. R$1.400 que é o teto, se você for mestrado já. Cara, assim, e não é por falta de dinheiro, não vou entrar na pauta, tá? Se não vou entrar na pauta, acho que não é o momento. Mas a gente sabe que tributo nesse país a gente tem, tá? Deveria funcionar direitinho. Mas, por outro lado, os Estados Unidos que trabalham com a dinâmica privada, as empresas investem, né, para os estudos serem rodados dentro das universidades, conseguem entregar algo muito mais vultuoso, financeiramente falando, para investir em pesquisa. Isso é muito legal. E a Universidade de Utah é uma das líderes nos Estados Unidos nisso, nesse sentido. Inclusive, tem programas de saúde pública, que é super bacana. Dentro desse vídeo, quando você clicar aqui para ver o vídeo por inteiro, essa gravação do Zoom, você vai ver que existem programas de saúde pública lá. Inclusive, um dos momentos dentro dessas 2 semanas, você vai atuar e trabalhar com o programa True, que é basicamente um programa que atende gratuitamente a comunidades carentes lá do estado de Utah, nos Estados Unidos, que inclusive é um dos estados mais bonitos dos Estados Unidos, aquelas montanhas incríveis em toda a região, cara. Você está em Salt Lake City, que é a capital, você sai para comprar um pão na padaria, e você tem basicamente uma Cordilheira dos Andes ali, obviamente não é a Cordilheira dos Andes, né, mas imagina a Cordilheira dos Andes. Pronto, você tem algo ainda mais bonito do que aquilo na sua cara ali, incrível. Então, assim, experiência incrível, experiência magnífica, algo que vai enriquecer muito a sua jornada e que, naturalmente, assim, uma experiência com vagas limitadas, né? Não é aberta para todo mundo. Então, você que está vendo esse vídeo, aproveita, porque a primeira turma desse programa da STB vai sair agora, em 2025, tá? Vai sair no meio do ano. Se eu não me engano, é dia 9 de julho a 22 de julho, ou é 9 de junho a 22 de junho. Aí você vê com exatidão lá, acho que é julho, na verdade, você confirma dentro desse vídeo. Eu tô fazendo esse vídeo, cara, não é nem porque a gente tá recebendo pra isso, a gente tá recebendo nada pra isso. Mas eu fui pra uma feira aqui em São Paulo da STB, vi a turma e, cara, achei animal, achei incrível mesmo. Eu tenho que falar sobre isso, porque eu adoraria que alguém tivesse me falado sobre isso. Adoraria ter essa oportunidade no primeiro período, chegar e fazer, pai, vamos bater um papo maduro aqui. Eu passei na federal. Não tô dizendo que você pagaria se você tivesse passado na privada, não. Mas, cara, eu acho que você teria algum custozinho ali, tá? Nem que fosse para pagar a parcela do FIES. E eu passei na federal. Pô, eu não quero um carro. Inclusive, algo que me arrependo pra caramba foi ter gasto ali R$40 mil do meu pai. Ele quis gastar, porque foi uma escolha dele. Até hoje, inclusive, não tenho carro, não estou com carro. Poderia ter comprado, com certeza. Meu sócio tem carro, meu outro sócio tem carro. Mas eu não quis comprar, cara. Eu não quis comprar porque eu não acho que é um uso tão inteligente do recurso. Fico em São Paulo, então preciso ainda menos. Talvez em Natal, talvez eu tivesse, mas ainda acho que eu não gastaria com isso. Eu alugaria quando eu precisasse no final de semana. Sai bem mais barato. E aí, cara, meu pai gastou essa grana com carro. Eu hoje falaria, pai, na moral, eu quero essa experiência aqui, vamos negociar, depois até te devolvo, te pago uma parte, porque vale muito, cara. Nossa, como deve valer a experiência de você passar 2 semanas oficialmente num programa para estrangeiros nos Estados Unidos. Tá, cara, tem pontos de contato incríveis que eles vão fazer. Inclusive está no calendário lá, na terça e quinta noite, no final de semana, você tem contato, você tem eventos mesmos construídos para te conectar com os alunos, com os americanos que fazem faculdade de medicina lá na faculdade de Utah. Então, bicho, que experiência você pode viver, tá? E se você quer conhecer mais, vê o vídeo que vai sair aqui na sequência direta, tá? Os próximos 12 minutos, que começam logo com a médica brasileira falando, doutora Paloma Coriello, se eu não me engano. E aqui abaixo você clica para ver o vídeo na íntegra, tá? Vale muito a pena ver o vídeo na íntegra, conhecer todos os pontos desse programa. E claro, naturalmente, fala com a STB, certo? Fala que é dar uma mentoria, certo? Eles sabem, a gente pediu para eles fazerem um cupom de desconto, porque o valor naturalmente é bem alto, é um investimento super relevante. Então fala, eu sou da mentoria, quero o cupom que vocês falaram que vai ter para a mentoria. Pode pegar. Esse cupom é até bacana, porque não tem nada para a mentoria nele, tá? Assim, é realmente um cupom de desconto para você. A gente não recebe R$1 por isso. E eu espero que você viva essa experiência. Se você viver, cara, me retorna, me fala como é que foi, porque eu sei que vai enriquecer muito a tua jornada. Beleza? Então é isso, segue aí com a doutora Paloma. E em breve ela vai estar aqui, se tudo der certo, no canal para contar a jornada dela, que eu acho que isso aí vai ser animal. Valeu, tamo junto, vê o vídeo até o final, lembra de curtir. Até o próximo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. If you're here for information about the Visiting Scholar Program at University of Utah School of Medicine, you're in the right place. We're going to wait just a few minutes for others to join. We've got a good number here. We just want to make sure that everyone who wants to see the presentation has the chance to get in. So we'll give it, I think, probably 90 to 100 seconds. All right. Does that sound good? Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you for your patience. It's really a pleasure to speak to you today. We've got a really robust lineup of folks who have been associated with putting together this program at the University of Utah. It's going to be an exceptional experience. And if you have any questions, please do write them down. We have folks standing by to respond in English or Portuguese, if you prefer that. There's a Q&A feature in these webinars. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a button that says Q&A. If you type your question in there, we can either type back the answer or someone can take it live to respond. We will have a Q&A session at the end. So if you don't get your question in while we're going, or someone doesn't have the opportunity to respond during the program, at the end, we will certainly get to your questions. So I would like to get us started. My name is Alex Phillips. I am responsible for helping to get all these people together to make this program happen. I'm going to let them describe it, but I just wanted to say that I believe what we have here is something really groundbreaking in terms of the experience for international medical students to come and observe the U.S. medical system, how medicine is practiced in situ, to observe, student doctors and clinicians in a clinical setting, working with patients to do simulations, and hear from some very experienced faculty about their work, about their approach to medicine, and maybe hear some interesting case studies as well. So I'd like to get things started by introducing my colleague, Everton, who is there in Salt Lake City at the moment. Everton, would you mind introducing yourself and giving us a little overview? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, let's go to Larissa first from STB. I apologize. Larissa, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about STB?
Hello, everyone. I'm Larissa. I'm the head of Universities Department here at STB. I've been working for STB for about 12 years, and this program was especially designed to our students as a request when we were doing some commercial visits. And it's so special because it was made by your request. What the student requested, we could listen, we could draw the program, and now we will deliver a really special and great program for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar session, make a lot of questions, and it's a pleasure to be here. Now I'm going to introduce a little bit of STB. STB has been on the market for about 50 years, a little bit more, and our mission is to develop educational programs that is always ahead of our plannings. So we are always listening what the students need, and what we will provide is always something that they really need to fulfill their educational future, to put them ahead of the market. So this is our main mission here at STB. And if you go to the next slide, we'll see there's a huge timeline, the STB timeline. So you'll see that we will start with 8 years old until 60 plus years old. We do have students with 70 or 80 years traveling with us. So there's always an experience to every student that comes to SCB, no matter what what kind of programs they're looking for and which specific age they are. There's always an educational program that they can leave and go further on their lives. So now I'm gonna pass it on to the Utah team to introduce and present this amazing program that was designed especially for the Brazilian students.
Everton, now would be a great time for you to introduce yourself and give us a little overview.
That is perfect. So thank you, Larissa. Thank you, Alex, for the wonderful introduction. My name is Everton Araújo, and as you can probably see by the name, I am Brazilian. I have been here living in Utah for probably almost 18 years now. I have been working at the University of Utah for about 8. I'm really, really excited about this opportunity, this project. As Larissa mentioned, I've been going to Brazil for a few years now, and every time I'm talking to, students who are, interested in health sciences or maybe, other medical schools, this is something that they always ask of me, right? Can we come and experience the University of Utah, right? Just see how things are done, giving some of the amazing medical school program that we have here. And luckily for us, we have the opportunity to hear from some of the faculty and doctors directly from the program today. So again, really, really excited to make this program happen finally, and with the assistance of not just myself here at Utah Global, but I see here Sherry, Dahlia. I'm not sure, Sherry, are you planning on saying anything? Would you like to say some words at this point?
Well, we're thrilled to be working with STB and with Shorelight and with Everton, who's been a really good colleague for the many years that we have known him. My name is Sherry Daly. I'm Executive Director in our Office for Global Engagement. And one of my favorite jobs is to help create and support these types of programs to bring international visitors to our university, to experience both the wonderful faculty and research and knowledge that we generate here, but also to see Utah, which is a really amazing place. I look forward to greeting all of you who will be part of this program.
Okay, so without further ado, let's just talk about here this program. So as you can see here, we're looking to host this first cohort of students on July 6th to July 18th. This is a 2 weeks program where you're going to be able to really experience firsthand some of the facilities, some of the teaching. There will be some observership. You're going to be able to, immerse yourself in a Utah culture. Not only you're going to get to, spend some time with the medical school faculty and other students, but you're going to have the opportunity to actually, explore Utah and Salt Lake City a little bit, which is Just a wonderful, wonderful place. And I'm going to share additional information here in just a little bit. But, the goal, as you consider, should you do this or not, if you read there under outcomes, really it's just a once in a lifetime experience, right? You're not just going to walk away with a certificate, but you're really going to get some experience that you're going to carry, throughout your medical student career within, once you return back to Brazil. But also you're going to make connections that hopefully will last a lifetime. You're going to be able to network with other students and folks that are doing some amazing research here at the University of Utah. And, we are one of the top research institutions in the entire country. For those of you who are not aware, there are a lot of American universities here in the US. And, the University of Utah is among, the very, very top in many, many different aspects. And, health sciences and the medical school, it's certainly one of them. So if we can go to the next slide. This is I like to share this map because a lot of people don't know, particularly my Brazilian compatriotas, né? They don't tend to realize where Utah even is, which makes sense. Most folks, when they think about America, they're thinking California, Los Angeles, Miami. So this is where the Salt Lake City is located. Utah is in the western part of the United States. It's now, roughly probably a total of 13, 14 hours flight time, if you're thinking São Paulo. So it's not extremely, it's not super, super far. Just an absolutely beautiful place when it comes to, just the landscape, in terms of, outdoors, hiking, biking. There's so much to do in terms of outdoors. But Salt Lake City itself, it is very much a city. This is a place, the metro area is probably about 2.5 million people. So quite much smaller than the 20 million that we're used to in São Paulo. But, just a wonderful city. You've got, quite a bit of, diversity when it comes to food and just different activities. You've got professional sports teams. There are malls. There are places to go shopping. It has a wonderful history, and these are all things that we intend to highlight to you once you arrive and participate in this program. One of the cool things that I always like to talk about is just how much Utah has grown, right? Just over the past 17, 18 years, just observing Salt Lake grow with, so much businesses in different industries, particularly in terms of tech. Utah today is one of the leading states in the country when it comes to students interested in, technology. We think about the Silicon Slopes, which is a representation of the tech industry here in the state of Utah. And I think particularly for this program, if you do some Google search, you're going to see a lot of crossover between the medical school and technology, again, happening here at the University of Utah, which I think is really, really cool to highlight and for you to see as well. So if we go to the next one here, these are some of the activities that we intended to share with you in terms of cultural immersion. We're going to get a chance, of course, to explore Salt Lake City. We're going to visit the state capitol. There's a bunch of hikes. There are like thousands of hikes that we can go on, but I'm fairly familiar with some of the very popular one, particularly among international students that we're going to get to explore up in a big Cottonwood. That tends to be, some of the visitors' very, very favorite. We do want to bring you guys to some of the professional sports teams. We're thinking about right now the baseball team with the Bees. We're gonna go to a baseball game, and again, you're gonna get to experience a lot of good food, from many different places within Salt Lake. And again, we really want to make sure that you have, an amazing experience as once you arrive, from the moment you arrive in Salt Lake until departure. I think you're really going to get a full experience of, not only of the medical school and the University of Utah and campus, but the state of Utah and Salt Lake City as a whole. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts right here. So you guys are going to be staying at the Citizen Apartments. Okay, this is a brand new building, apartment building that was inaugurated probably about 7, 8 months ago now. We have, a number of students living there right now, and they absolutely love the experience of staying at the Citizen. It is, fairly, it's essentially downtown, so really easy access to everything, restaurants to different just attractions just downtown. So it makes it really easy for us to just walk around and explore the city a little bit. The apartments are fully furnished. Every single student will get to stay in their own bedroom with their own bathroom and their own closet as well. As you can see there in the pictures, there's gym, there's a pool, there's a clubhouse with many different games. All of that is going to be available to you, 24/7 during those 2 weeks when you're staying here as part of the program. It's important to note that you do have a washing dryer inside of each apartment. Of course, internet access, that is all included within the price of the program that we're going to be sharing a little bit later. So again, in terms of housing, just truly, truly one of the best housing facilities that you can find in Salt Lake City today. So.
Super. Well, thank you so much, Everton. I'd like to now introduce Dr. Sarah Norton. She's an assistant clinical professor at the University of Utah Hospital. Dr. Norton is an internal medicine physician, and her research interests include global health, medical anthropology, and health diplomacy. And you're going to be guiding a lot of this experience, Dr. Norton. Thank you so much for being here. We'd love to hear from you about University of Utah School of Medicine.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. And thank you, Everton, for sort of laying the foundation for the city in which the university lies. As Alex said, I am an internal medicine physician at the University of Utah Hospital, and I'm one of the faculty leads of this summer immersion program. Everton alluded to some of the sort of key aspects of what we're hoping you get out of this program, but we're hoping that you'll have the chance to experience some of the school's unique offerings. You'll have the chance to explore the university's hospitals and clinics alongside some of our University of Utah medical students. Through that, you'll be able to better understand the local healthcare landscape and some of our practices. You'll have a chance to meet and network with a number of our faculty and professors, as well as time to explore sort of the cultural uniqueness of Salt Lake City, the surrounding valley and mountains as well. We can move on to the next slide.
And I believe this is a video that gives an overview of the School of Medicine.
Welcome to the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine at the University of Utah, located in Salt Lake City, Utah. Here, the global field of medicine is enriched by our fully integrated medical center, along with its flourishing education and research programs. At this school, we are given the unique opportunity to serve the healthcare needs of a diverse community of urban, rural, and indigenous patients from throughout the Intermountain West. Our medical school's campus is uniquely designed to provide the bulk of student training facilities within walking distance of one another. This includes the main University of Utah Hospital and Clinics, Primary Children's Hospital, Huntsman Cancer Hospital, and specialty neuropsychiatric and orthopedic hospitals and clinics. Our healthcare delivery system includes 5 hospitals and 12 community health centers throughout Utah. These incredible facilities house more than 1,700 wonderful medical professionals, all dedicated to providing patient care. University of Utah Health is the training ground for the region's best physicians, nurses, pharmacists, therapists, and other health professionals. Our mission is to encourage interdisciplinary collaborations, creating excellence in patient care, education, and research. Our constant, dedicated pursuit of this mission has gained us a national reputation as leaders in transforming health and health education. We are inviting you to be a part of this excellence. Welcome to...
Thank you. And we have a couple other videos, and I wonder, Dr. Norton, whether it would be better to wait on these and hear from Dr. Cariello first, and then put these in context of the rest of the program. Does that make sense? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
that would be great.
Thank you so much. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Paloma Cariello, who's an associate professor of infectious diseases at University of Utah School of Medicine. And I believe she has the ability to speak to you in a way that I don't. And I think you'll know what I mean in just a minute. Dr. Cariello, and here's a video on student-led clinics. Dr. Norton, do we need context for this one?
I think Dr. Cariello had alluded to it. I think one thing to know is that the University of Utah Medical School, or the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine, is unique in that it offers students the opportunity for sort of innovative and student-centered approaches to medical education very early in medical school. They start their second year with integrated clerkships and longitudinal patient care experiences. And one of the ways that they do that is through these student-led clinics, wherein sort of they act as primary care doctors early on in medical school in collaboration with faculty, and they're able to follow patients sort of through the course of their education.
We had access to the community that needed the services, and the University of Utah had the resources to provide that service. It was a match made in heaven.
The Utah Department of Health ranks Midvale as an area with high health disparities. We have about double the rate of those in poverty compared to Salt Lake County. Having a clinic like Community Building Community here and embedded in our city is incredibly helpful for our residents who may not be able to afford those services otherwise.
The clinic is serving almost 3,000 people that depend on this care, not only because of the high quality service that we can provide, but also because they trust us.
The University of Utah is a teaching institution. When patients receive care at the University of Utah Hospital, they almost always see a student or another learner first, who's then supervised by a member of the faculty. That's exactly the model we use here. The students see the patients, always under the close supervision of our faculty.
The quality of care that the students are providing, not only does it meet, but it actually exceeds what patients can get in other clinics because of the time that they spend, the individualized approach.
We spend an hour plus looking over each patient's chart, talking to them about the symptoms they've been having.
I think the patients feel that we really do care and we want to do the best that we can for them.
All right, thank you. I'd like to turn it over now to my colleague Isabel, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the nuts and bolts of the program, and then we can maybe hear from STB one more time, and then potentially go into the Q&A at that point, if that makes sense. Isabel.
Thank you, Alex. So my name is Isabel Zilic. I'm also Brazilian. We have some fellows here in the call, and I'm based in São Paulo, so I'm here in Brazil, and we designed this program with Alex and the team based in Utah. So I think you've seen a lot of great features of the program, and you may be wondering, what are the entry requirements and what do we have to do to be part of this amazing program? So the deadline is April 30th. It's coming pretty fast, in about 40 days. So it's better rush. And we're going to have a QR code in the end of this presentation, so you can click there to register. The requirement for this program is to be a student in a Brazilian medical school, 18 plus years. That's a requirement for the housing, and this program requires a tourist visa. So if you already have a tourist visa, that's fine. You can use it. And if you don't, you need to take a tourist visa. And by applying before April 30, you may have enough time to do that. If you can go to the next slide, please. And also the cost for this amazing program and everything that it's included here. The total cost is $12,500. And the only thing that is not included is your flight. So this program, it's a very, very complete program, includes absolutely everything, housing, meals, all the excursions, all the activities, transportation from the airport, transportation to the activities, and there are some payment options that are provided through STB, and you don't need to worry about any other financial aspect. Just this fee and your flights, everything it's included. And my colleague Larissa from STB is going to cover the payment plans that are offered through STB.
Thank you. The payment options that we have, it's like giving up 30% ahead and then paying 10 installments. Or if you decide to pay everything at once, we might consider a discount as well. So you can check with your STB branch or even online with your specialist as you want to discuss and negotiate the payment options.
Brazilians pay everything in installments, right? So this program too.
Yes. And another thing that I would really like to stress is that what Isabel says, it's right. The only thing that is not included is your flight, of course, your visa, because even the meals, they're included. This amazing housing that just opened like 6 months ago. All the excursions, airport transfer, insurance, everything's included. And it's a really designed program for our market. So
Excellent. Well, thank you. Hopefully you have an idea of the content of the program, an idea about University of Utah, the Eccles School of Medicine, and little information about where you would be staying, what the experience would look like, some of the academic components of what you'd be doing. If you're interested in applying, I encourage you to scan this QR code now. Whether or not you have time at the moment to fill out the application, I do recommend you do it as soon as possible. It is a very small program. We know this is a hands-on learning experience, and so we can't facilitate large groups. So if you are interested, I really do encourage you to get on there, ask questions, as Larissa recommends, at a branch or online with an agent. So with that said, I would like to move to the Q&A now, if that makes sense for everyone. And what I'll do is sort of just read out the questions that we have and potentially call on someone who might be the best person for that particular kind of question. The first one here is regarding observation. The question is, are students going to observe patients in clinics and hospitals? And Dr. Norton, I don't know if there's an appropriate answer to that at the moment.
Yeah, I think right now, while we may tour some of the hospitals and certainly engage with faculty, a lot of the observerships will be in those sort of student-led and medically underserved clinics alongside our Utah medical students.
Thank you very much. Another question, is there a certificate at the end? And I can answer that one. Yes, there is a certificate at the end that certifies that you've participated in the program and that you've participated in an observership. And so that will be, signed by University of Utah and issued to you after you've successfully completed the program. Are there other questions?
I do have questions for the faculty. What do you think that will be the highlight of the program? I know that the students, they are eager to do the observership and the shadowing, but is there any facility that you believe that Utah has a start on it and and students will be amazed by and enjoy a lot?
I think a lot of the programming that we're designing is sort of seeking to highlight what is unique to the University of Utah and sort of our surrounding environment. And so some of that will come from the student-led clinics in terms of the diverse patient populations that you will interact with. As you saw on a lot of the videos, we serve a lot of the tribal nations in the Intermountain West, as well as a sort of diverse migrant, immigrant, refugee population in the Salt Lake City area. I think added to that, we're hoping to do some advanced wilderness life support and some visits with our sort of rehabilitation medicine physicians, sort of looking at a lot of the sort of medical care and emergency medicine that happens in the valley is related to skiing accidents and mountain biking and hiking and sort of just that ability to respond in the wilderness as well. So I think both of those will certainly be a highlight.
I agree with Dr. Norton. The Nielsen Rehab Center is a new building as of, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago with like top quality electronic everything. Like the physical therapy room is mind-blowing. Similarly, the Huntsman Cancer Institute, it looks like you're in a 5-star hotel. You have like this granite, elevators in front of you. It is really top of the art, like facilities across the board. So I'd like to second that, not only on the outpatient setting, as Dr. Norton mentioned, but also the visiting around the inpatient setting. I think it's going to be very impressive. I was very impressed when I came to visit, and quite different from facilities that we had back home.
And potentially different from UMass Amherst, where I think you
yes, I was in Massachusetts for many years, different from UMass as well. Yes.
I'm in Shutesbury right now, just down the street from Amherst. Great. Well, thank you. Hopefully that answers that question, Larissa. We have another from the audience. Does the program accept medical students from any semester of college? And we were discussing this a little earlier. I think, to break that down a little bit, could somebody in the beginning of medical school who may not, have taken all of their foundation classes have sufficient knowledge to participate and understand what's going on? Likewise, would somebody near the end of their medical school career find interest in what's going on? My reaction is yes, because it seems like the program is really about concepts regarding how to distribute medicine to those with need, but also how to perform at your best as a clinician. But I wonder if the doctors might have some thoughts about that.
Certainly, and I concur with what you said, Alex. One of the key takeaways from our clinics in the hospitals are that sort of first-year medical students up through senior medical students are rounding in similar locations and in similar clinics. They are just helping to teach one another and mentor and sort of engaging with the patients at that appropriate level. And so there's no sort of foundation that is necessarily required to still glean a lot from the program that we're offering. So everyone would be welcome.
Thank you. There's a question here that is in Portuguese, it looks like. Larissa, can you help us with that?
Yeah,
Everton, whoever, yeah.
I can make the
Larissa?
answer to, yeah, so I'll make the answer I will make the question and can answer that, as we were discussing previously. Por que é tão caro? R$ 71.000 não é acessível para todos. So why it's so expensive? R$ 71,000 is not accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
You want to mention the other program that we were discussing previously?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a couple of reasons here, and we can talk about that as well, Larissa. But I think, this is our first time. This is our first go around with this program. It's, as Alex mentioned earlier, it's quite limited in size. But as we expand this, we hope that in the future, as we increase the number of attendees, that we'll be able to make the cost a little bit more cost effective. Now, the other thing, the other issue that we have today is the exchange, right? The dollar to real today, it's not like it was 6 months ago, right? I mean, it has increased substantially over the past few. But I do, and I'll let Larissa speak a little bit more on this, that, there are, again, while this is our first go around, and we certainly, have a goal to make this more accessible in the future to more folks as it relates to financials. There are some other options, I think, within the STB portfolio that perhaps, may or may not fit other budgets as well.
Exactly. So in STB, we do have some other programs that might be the right fit for you as well, as we do have some medical English programs. Of course, they won't have those laboratory experiences, shadowing, observership. So these programs was specially designed, and the schedule was filled with academics and cultural activities, as well as the accommodation, the meals, and everything. So as our first time, is a program that is designed for some students, and as we will develop for the next years, we will be able to develop more accessible program to everyone. But I would like to mention that there are some other programs, as we could see, that it's almost the same price, but with not the entire content that is being provided by Utah. So this is a point that should be stressed as well. But yes, in the future, there will be some other prices, but you can connect with your counselor at STB and check some other possibilities for you. This is not a point.
Yeah, and I do want to say that when the program was being designed, we did a fairly comprehensive look at similar programs in other places, other regions of the U.S. And this was about middle of the road. It was not an excessively priced program for what it is. It's that the cost here is fixed to the U.S. dollar, and we understand the exchange rate is variable and can fluctuate dramatically. The costs we're doing everything we can to keep the costs low. The fact is that it is quite expensive to use a simulation lab, for example, transportation, et cetera. So I think everybody here is in favor of trying to make it as accessible as we possibly can. Right now, this is the program that was designed to fit the market as it exists, and hopefully for those who come and enjoy the program, you'll hear from them about their experiences and the benefits of it for the future as well.
There's another question. So the classes are only for STB students or open to everyone?
That is a good question. Will there be mixed population, any of the lectures, courses, workshops, etc.?
Most likely it'll just be STB students. Certainly in some of the evening cultural activities and mixers, there's hopes that the STB students can interact with some of our Utah Global Health students and other medical students as well.
And in the clinical settings, when the STB students are observing, they'll be observing Utah med students, right? Who are in that situation.
Yeah, there'll be Utah medical students and Utah faculty providers as well.
Great. Okay. Thank you. I likewise cannot, I won't even attempt to read this next question.
No, do not worry. And it's someone making a question regarding the cost, if there's another option. Of course there is. As I have mentioned previously, you can go for the medical English program with some other providers, and your STB counselor can give this option for you. You can check straight with your STB counselor with your preferred branch, and I'm sure that there will be a great option for you and a great fit for you as well. And of course, there's a possibility to pay in installments, which is parcelamento, 30% à vista e 10 vezes sem juros no cartão de crédito. Sorry for the English speakers. I just wanted to stress out this part.
I think that's one of, well, I was just going to say, Larissa, I think that's one of the reasons, we also felt really good about working with STB is that there is this payment plan. I think it's a really nice thing about the Brazilian system, actually, that you have the tradition of installments, because paying a lump sum like that is quite a commitment. Someone is wondering whether they could pay from an American account. That's a kind of technical question. I'm not sure the answer to that.
I can take this one. So all the payment will be made to STB with a Brazilian bank account as a default. But if you have something specific in the US, we can try to accommodate the specific needs. So we can analyze it case by case.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Larissa. Any parting words for how people can get in touch with you or STB if they're interested, need more information?
Yes, sure. So you can scan the QR code and send your questions to us, or even talk to your specialists on your preferred branch from STB. It will be a pleasure to answer all the questions and try to figure out the best way for you to join the program. And of course, I would like to highlight that this is an observership program, shadowing, and all the workshops will be made through a lab. So just for Brazilians to understand, when medical students come to US, they're not allowed to clinic to put to make it clear to put a hand on an American patient. But of course, you'll be shadowing through a student, learning for the faculty, and making this opportunity the most amazing of your lives, as the Professor Paloma mentioned, that if she had the chance to do it previously, would help her a lot before joining Utah. So I believe this is it. I don't know if someone else, there's a final word.
All right. Everton, any final words from Utah Global?
I just want to highlight that, we spend a lot of time talking about the academic portion of this program, which of course it is the most important part of this. But I do want you to know that, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to have a lot of fun outside of the classroom. I always like to tell people that Utah, it's sort of this, hidden treasure. It's tesouro escondido para estudantes na América Latina. E realmente, eu acho que assim, a experiência que você vai ter fora da sala de aula vai ser muito enriquecida também. É algo que você nunca viu antes, em termos das paisagens, dos restaurantes e do, just day-to-day life here in Salt Lake City. So I definitely want you to keep that in mind as you make that decision to come spend 2 weeks with us. So.
Great. Well, I want to thank everyone so much for your time. Thank you to the faculty. Thank you to all my colleagues who are here and for making this happen. We really hope to hear from you all, the attendees, very soon. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Tchau, boa noite, pessoal.
Tchau.